Hello everybody, I'm Comrade Wolf and welcome back to the GuP Alliance YouTube channel. Here's my good buddy Jonboy in his SU-122-44. The absolute worst tank in the game in my opinion. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. 10 out of 10 would not play. Okay, maybe a little bit. Okay, maybe a whole lot. I absolutely love the thing. Pretty standard lineup. You know, good solid tier 7 game. I guess I couldn't say good solid tier 7 game. It's more of like a solid tier 6 and below game. There's only 4 tier 7s per team. But you know, I don't think my good buddy Jonboy is complaining. That just means that he doesn't need to load gold. He's still going to do 4-500 alpha to, excuse me, 3-400 alpha. Gosh, I wish I did 500 alpha. But he's going to do, you know, 3-400 alpha to every single one of these tanks on the field. Which, when you're thinking about it, you know, the SU-122-44 has got something like 5-6 second reload, 3-400 alpha. You know, I mean, you do the math. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Bloody fantastic machine. You know, it just tears through tanks like it ain't nothing. And he's got his sights here fixated on a little IS, but no shot was to be had, unfortunately. And there we just lose our T-34-85. I tell you, from my position, it's looking like the beginnings to a very bad match. You know, it may be me being a pessimist, but a lot of the matches I've had as of recently, once they do get to sunny, well, I guess I can't call it sunny, more like schmoggy, Ruinberg on fire, or Ruinberg for that matter, have been absolute atrocities. But, you know, yeah, it's a personal gripe. I don't need to bore you guys with the details and the horror stories, but this match is definitely turning into one of those, at least from my experienced position. 3 tanks down for Jonboy's team, tanks on cap. We finally made an impact, but I mean, can you really say it's an impact? We've already lost, well, not, excuse me, 4 tanks now. In comparison to the one, but Jonboy is not satisfied with the team coming apart. First shot takes out a tank. Second shot takes out another tank. T-49 right there. He's on his, you know, putting that reload rate of that tank is absurd. You know, like I said earlier, it's got like a 6 to 5 second reload, mounting the Soviet 122mm cannon. There he just knocked out the KV-1. The 122mm cannon, as I said, 3-400 alpha, it's capable of one-shotting most every tank that he's going to come up against that's below tier 4, or excuse me, tier 5. And that's absolutely absurd. Now, Jonboy, I have no clue why you have gold loaded right now, mate. But you know, I guess more power to you. Switching back to AP, best idea. He complains about not having money all the time. Oh, no offense, mate. I'm just poking fun at you. So he's got 4 kills now. I've been promised a Radley-Walters in this game, so I hope he can excuse me. I should say I've been promised a Radley-Walters from him to cast, so I hope that this replay is the Radley-Walters that he's so promised me. Around back into the city. He's going to start lining up some targets here, trying to engage what he can. Definitely doesn't want to, you know, to lose this round. I wouldn't blame him. Pushing forward, Churchill up in the distance there. Churchill 1. Not too big of a threat. He can't really see it, although it is capping, which means he does need to get in there and reset. Still no real shots at it, but he does have a shot at the T-34 and 300 alpha. The T-34 didn't even have a chance. He was under half health. Now I feel really bad for this KV-1S. One shot, you know, 300 damage. light him on fire, finish him off with the second shot, tear through him. This is absolutely absurd. Oh, Jonboy, mate, you're reloading the gold. You have a problem. Please, stop. You know, his team's really done a great job of turning this around. It went from just a moment ago to how you say... You know, his team was firmly losing it. I apologize for my stuttering. I swear, English is not my first language, even though I was born in an English-speaking country. Anyway, back to the game before I make myself look stupid. Jonboy's on the cap. He's moving around, just reset that Churchill. Just unloaded his gold again. And, actually, excuse me, that was a replay glitch. He apparently did have gold firing. My bad to all of you at home. You guys are probably sitting there screaming, "Oh, yeah, Wolf, you're a moron. That wasn't standard shells. That was a gold shell." But now he's out of gold, so now I can be just in saying that he's no longer spamming gold. 7 kills. He's pushing off the cap. Going to get himself this M44. Tracks him? Are you kidding me? He tracks him with the 122mm cannon. Rams him. Gets out of the way. He doesn't know if this M44 is reloaded or not. And knocks the kill off. All in all, a bloody fantastic match. That was, you know, I mean, I can't personally say that I've gotten a Radley-Walters in my SU-122-44 yet, and, you know, hey, congratulations, Jonboy. What is that, your third, your fourth? You'll have to correct me on TeamSpeak one of these days. Anyway, looking at the after-battle report here, he's done 50,000. He's got 50,000 credits from the match. 2,506 experience on a ×2. His first class mastery badge. The all-important Radley-Walters. A high caliber. Top gun and a Confederate medal. He certainly did not, you know, lounge about in this game. Moving over to the team score here. You know, his team, it wasn't supposed to win. You know, from the M44 or the M41 down, everyone on his team was consistently outdamaged by the equal player on their team. Type 3 Chinu Kai, or excuse me, Type 3 Chinu, 0 damage, and the AT2 relative to his position, 15. I mean, they had a fairly decent damage spread. But from the M41 up, you can see the damage begins to spread out. Churchill 1, 575, ARL 687, so on and so forth. I mean, it's still a little bit lacking here and there. But, you know, Jonboy just went ham on. 2,753 damage, 8 kills, 1,114 base experience. Bloody fantastic game, man. And the best part is even with firing all that gold, you made 18k profit. Congratulations, mate. A wonderfully played match. And I guess that'll be my transitional period here. The next replay is going to be a from Ruinberg to the fields of Redshire. An immense change. So here we are on Redshire. You know, I'm not a big fan of artillery pieces. I have one. I have the M4043, or not the M4043, the M12. The Tier 6 American artillery piece. I mean, it's alright. But, you know, considering that artillery pieces are, well, in my opinion, horrible. When Jersey sent me this replay, you know, I had to check it out. Little FE304, meh, little artillery piece, at least in my opinion. I've heard, you know, stories of how good it is, and it definitely seems fun. It's an AMX with a howitzer on it, which is I mean, you know, it's a clever little machine. I suppose that if you're into that sort of play style, you can make it work. Well, anyway, Jersey is here. It's a tier 6 match. He's platooned up with the clan recruiter Blitzy. Congratulations on your promotion, by the way. Yes, Blitzy, this is being casted after you got that promotion, so congratulations. And you know, I guess Jersey's gonna have to do some artillery things. I'm a bit flabbergasted on the proceedings of how to cast an artillery game. This is definitely a first, but it's needless. It's impressive. I mean, he does a lot of work in this game, considering the lull there of his team. Takes a blind shot at that Wolverine there. I'm not sure if it was a hit or not. You know, the biggest thing that surprises me about this FA-304 is its aim time and accuracy, or aim time and relay rate. I suppose, you know, it's logical to compensate for the low alpha of the cannon and the general mehness of the cannon, and you know, the small stature and whatnot. But I mean, I can see why people enjoy it. He's literally non-stop shooting, and once you're tracked, you're dead. If you're still spotted and, you know, tracked, he can continue to rain shots on you like it ain't nobody's business, which is pretty clever. I guess not clever, but pretty interesting, if you will. So, you know, the match is progressing as predicted, at least, you know, considering how well the tanks has been running the last couple of days. Teams are both battered. I guess I should say Jersey's team is a bit more battered than the enemy team. You know, they've only killed 2 tanks and lost 6, so, and they're about to lose another in the face of that tank destroyer. Which Jersey's, you know, going to do what he can to assist. He's lining up shots of opportunity, firing, hitting, and tracking. And, you know, with that SU-100's death, it's time for him to get the hell out of there. And this is what I find amazing about this little thing. You know, I'm used to seeing French artillery blitz across the map at, you know, 100 miles per hour. Figuratively, of course. This thing, little British artillery, smaller than an AMX, blitzing across the map at, you know, 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. It's unique. He was just at the front lines, and those tanks that were, you know, threatening him are now far behind him as he's coming up to the next, you know, major engagement zones. This being the cap, obviously, and I mean, you know, it's pretty different. It's a different play style, at least to what I'm accustomed to in the M12. So over the hill and through the woods, here comes the FV-304. I guess he's going tank destroyer mode right now, which is bloody insane. I wouldn't even dare. And almost one-shots the poor Hellcat. Leaves him with 14 HP, or excuse me, 64 HP. Sorry, couldn't read. God. Barely survives a collision with the KV-1. Takes an artillery shell right in front of him, still using the speed of this tank to reposition, pulling up into howitzer mode here in your spy satellite and putting shots on those tanks that were just threatening his position a moment ago. He's going to aim down here on this Wolverine. That might actually be a Hellcat. That's probably a Hellcat. Yes, that was a Hellcat. It looked like a Wolverine from above for whatever reason. Maybe I'm just a moron. Putting the little speed demon to work. He's got 2 kills. Teams about tied each other up, 10 to 11. There goes the KV-1S. Got knocked out by the Nashorn, which that's a replay I'd like to cast as a Nashorn game. I've had a thing for the Nashorn. It's kind of a cool looking little tank, you know. Any of my guys in the GuP Alliance have a replay where they do extraordinarily well in the Nashorn, I'd love to have it. Preferably a 9-0. Getting these last two replays, or Jonboy's replay and this replay to work, was a pain. I had to pull favors from the top of, the top level of the GuP Alliance to get these replays casted after, everything broke in 9-0. So, it's Jersey and two tank destroyers, a Nashorn and an AT, versus an SU-100, a flak bus, and two artillery pieces. Another FV-304, and an AMX 105 AM, I want to say. Old Tier 5 French artillery piece. And, in typical Red Shire fashion, it's became a camp fest. Apparently I spoke too soon. Tank is now on cap. Looks like one tank. He takes a blind shot, hoping to hit something. And, well, it looks like he's gonna go tank destroyer mode again. Once more, down through the hills. Over to Grandma's house he goes, onto the cap. Over the next hill. Tank has got to be on the other end of this rise. He pulls back, thinking it's, probably decided it's going to be too much to risk it. Sits near the bottom of the hill and just waits. And there's a tank. A little SU-100 just popped up alongside the AT, or excuse me, the flak toaster. Fires. Doesn't even need to go into satellite mode and one-shots the flak toaster. 3 kills. There's the SU-100. Throws it into satellite view. Cannot find a shot. Takes a shot anyway. FV-304 comes over the hill, charging towards him. It's a battle of the artillery beetles, and the other one just lost. Knocks him out. 4th kill. 280 damage on that shot. That was ridiculous. On the FV-304's, part, just rushing down on that hill like that. I mean, I can kind of see what he was going to do. He's going to snap off Jersey, but it just didn't work out too well. It was very improperly timed. Well, I guess timing wasn't an issue with it. It was more or less the fact that he didn't hit him. But there's still an SU-100 and the other artillery piece. And there's the AMX 105 AM. The SU-100's coming around. SU-100 kills the AT-8. It's now Jersey versus the SU-100 and the AMX 105 AM. He's chasing down the artillery piece for an easy kill. Tracks him. 93 damage. Leaves the little artillery piece at half health. Turns the gun around, reloading, and 5th kill. He's been tank destroying for half the match here, blitzing around the map like he's some sort of crazy speed demon. Up the hill he goes. There's the SU-100. The SU-100's coming for him. It's gunning straight towards him, knocking down the hill. Cannons loaded. He's stopping. He's thinking. Jersey's just waiting. You don't have the gun depression to hit me, but I definitely have the gun elevation to hit you. SU-100 comes up a little bit further. Starts pressing the advantage. Backs off. And over the hill. 6th kill. Walks away with a Top Gun and an FV-304 of all things. Which is, like I said, it wasn't the most impressive game. I had plenty of other choices, or plenty of other games to go from. But I just thought this was incredible. You know, a little FE304 turning into basically an AMX, running around the map, tank destroying things, which is insane. So he walks away with his ace tanker and a Top Gun, 1,991 damage, 6 kills, 1,076 base experience. No complaints. I mean, you know, he titled his replay properly, FE3, oh my god. Well, with that said, this is Comrade Wolf, and unfortunately I don't have any other videos to necessarily cast. At least not at the moment, because like I said earlier in the video, this is a pain to get these replays to work. So, with that said, I look forward to some 9.0 replays and some more content coming up onto the GuP Alliance channel. I promise not to procrastinate. And this has been Comrade Wolf, signing off.